All right, this is the Unconquered film session as usual. I'm going to go ahead and get right to it, and I'm going to go through the condensed first half here on this video. I'm going to try to come back for the second half on the other. So start out here with GY. So GY counter coming in from a motion. So one of the reasons you do this early on is you just want to see how they're matching up. You see that they are matching up in cover 7, so they're giving you what you expect. And then they give you this at the end. So kind of coming out of that cover, the normal cover 7, and they're going to match up without a player here. So one of the things that you kind of keep track of here is that maybe if you come back to this, you go, power with an RPO here, and you fit it behind those backers a little bit later. Also worth noting here, and this stood out to me, if you notice, the starter here is not Benson. Benson didn't start this game, and he didn't get a bunch of carries in this game either. Toafili got more burn, and they ran through other backs there. I think there's some dissatisfaction, and rightly so, with how Benson's run so far this year. Just not been what he needed to be in some of these bigger games against better defensive lines. So 3rd and 1 here. One of the things they did a great job of was really shooting gaps with their defensive linemen. They did a really good job of sort of making it uncomfortable for these guys and getting upfield. You can see the penetration here. Now they're just trying to wall off because this is supposed to go outside. So, but still you see them coming off the ball real fast. Nice setup here where they're working from the motion across, and that gives them an extra body on the outside. On 3rd and 1, all you have to do is get your hook here and just get one body on him, and you're going to get that edge. Really nice job by the edge. Could have potentially gotten a hold there on 88, but Poitou didn't get it. All right, so you're going to go trips. This is the 3rd and 7. Trips, and then the timing on the screens has been really bad all season, and all of a sudden, the last 2 games, they've started to get the screen timing back. This is good right here. So Jordan with just the right amount of fade back to attract those defensive linemen, then just flick it over them, get that release high up in the air. Just do not like how he doesn't get any extension, but that's fine here. And then got to say, this is a really good tackle from a corner coming up and really laying the lumber there. I'd like to see Toafili go near leg, near shoulder a little bit more here and deliver the blow just a little bit more. But that's a really good tackle. Give him credit. So now they didn't show it on the condensed. It's amazing that on the condensed version they don't show the 4th and 1. But Jordan Travis got it. If you go back and you take a look at that, he actually got that first down on that sneak. His knees were not down. He just extended and actually touched the line with the ball as he was going down before any other part of his body touched. If they'd reviewed that definitely would have gotten overturned. They just didn't review it, which I don't understand why they didn't. The other thing, and again, I don't have it on screen right now because I'm watching the condensed version, but that was just a situation where he didn't read the defensive lineman in the bubble correctly. He needed to pop out over the tackle, and if he does that with the right amount of space, he never gets touched, and he probably gains 2 or 3 yards there. So just needs to get a little better on that. Follow the Tom Brady example. Okay, so 2nd and 2 here. They really do a lot of similar things to what FSU does. One of the things that they did here really well in this game is that they used some arc release stuff with the H-backs to try to get these outside guys affected. In this case, you've got a flat release together with a run here, and the whole thing is this is generally a read. So Riley Leonard is looking at this. That's where his eyes are. If he sees him run out to cover, this is a give all the way. he's got to be in here and fill. And the thing is, they're up a guy, basically, because you got 5 here, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then you're 7, 8, 9. If you're playing quarters on 2nd and 2, and this is just cover 7 as usual. If you're playing quarters with cover 2, those guys have got to come downhill really fast, or you're just going to give this up unless one of these guys wrecks shop. So, because the way this is working, you're going to get the block down because he's coming inside. He's your edge guy. Block down on that. He's going to take your edge guy. And now you're going to have one of these guys 2 gap, and it looks like it's going to be Fisk here. And then basically the backer is going to have to be the extra +1 here. And he's just a little bit. He just ends up getting blocked by the puller. Just not quite right. And honestly, the reason this hits, that's pretty good actually from the backer. I'm pretty pleased with that trigger. That's okay. And he cuts off the gap here. That's fine. I mean, I think that's where he's supposed to be. What you've got to have here is the safety has to be filling hard downhill, and he's got to be the one to make the tackle. Instead of breaking down here, look, you know who's got the ball. Why are you breaking down here? You need to be pushing forward into that hole right now, coming straight downhill. Don't break down. What are you waiting on? Come downhill aggressively, stick that shoulder pad in there right there, and you get a tackle for loss. And this, by the way, is why they play so much cover 7, is it allows these safeties. These are the +1s. So essentially, you've got your 5, 6 in the box. You've got your coverage players out here, but then essentially you have 7, 8 in the box if those guys trigger correctly. And so he's waiting, before you go, but now you come downhill quick. And if he hits this is a tackle for loss, potentially. Hit that hard. Instead, he hesitates, and then this is just soft from Dent. No real contact, just trying to fall into it, stops his feet, and then just pulls him down. That's not good safety play. And the thing is, this defense really demands good safety play. They put a ton on their safeties in this defense. Cover 7 is very safety dependent. You got to get good safety play. They've not had great safety play all season. It's been good at times, but not great. Okay, so 2nd and 10 here. And now they're in a trips, but it's almost a tray because they've got such a reduced split here. So normally they're going to check out of true cover 7 here. They're going to wind up in a single high type look. Yeah, that's what they're doing. So they're gonna single high this. That's gonna be a cover 3 look, and that's gonna give you the extra players underneath here against this, so you can match that better. And that's okay from Deloach, because what he's worried about is too much of a cross. He's in position here. That's okay. But right here, he's got to be more physical with the tackle. And the other thing is, again, this is Dent. Dent just whiffing here. This has got to be a tackle from the safety right here. That's 2 in a row where Dent's just waving at a guy. I mean, my goodness, that's terrible. So, yeah, you'd like to see your backer not get dragged as much, but he shouldn't have to get dragged. This should be a big hit right through the hip right here. Instead, he kind of runs by him and then waves at him. Ole. That's terrible, Dent. All right. 2nd and 10. It's cover 7. And you can see, again, cover 7, there's block right here. So what he's doing, he's reading through the block of number 2. His first thing he needs to know is, am I getting a vertical? If he's getting a vertical, he has to sit back. If he gets a block right here, he can come down against that. Now that means that the corner is reading through the release of 1 into 2. If you get a block here, he knows he's all alone. So now you're getting this. So there's your fill for the alley. They're doing a lot of slanting here and trying to expect some of this stuff because they know how much Duke likes to pull. So they're basically spilling that. That's okay. Everything looks good there. I'm fine with this at this point. And then here's the key. He's reading. He's got to read through number one. When he sees him come inside, he knows he's coming down to block. So he's got to yell crack, 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 come down. He's yelling block, block, block. And now he exchanges responsibility with the safety. So he's got to come downhill here, and he becomes contained. And the issue here is the back presses the hole here, and what he does is he sees the back sort of hesitate here, and he thinks he can come down at this angle and be fine. Problem is the back now is there. He's actually got to take this angle to force the back inside. And that's just an absolutely atrocious angle. And that back can fly. So it's just a bad play by your corner, giving up a long run to a running back who can really run. Tell you what, I'm impressed here by the hustle, not of the backside corners, as Herb Street mentioned, but take a look at 11 here. Take a look at Peyton. He's running with Bethune here, and he actually outruns Tatum Bethune down the sideline and gets his hands on him. Doesn't make the tackle, but I tell you what, I got a lot of respect for a guy as a defensive end, backside defensive end, 40 yards downfield, getting his hands on it, and very nearly making a tackle that then would have set up a goal line stand opportunity. That's championship level hustle right there from that guy. Helmet sticker, even though you didn't make the tackle. That's good. Okay, so skipping the first couple here, 3rd and 1. So now you're going to go unbalanced here. So you're going to go tight end, H-back. So tight end's ineligible. There's your eligibles right there. And this is one where, in all honesty, I think Florida State's setting some stuff up for later. So this is one where you see what they're running here, and they're handing this off a lot of times, right? Could hand this off or could do this, which is what they do. And just trying to get this little sort of flood action out there, using Travis's ability to make plays on the run. Really nice by Morlock there. But I think they're also really sort of setting this up for the future where they're going to have run action and you're going to get a team that's going to match up here and they're going to sort of have this guy one-on-one or in a bad spot. Maybe he's lined up back here, and you're going to get Jordan Travis with a read action against a better team. They're going to use this formation, and he's going to end up hitting this hole right here. Just by alignment, that could be good. Now, Duke aligns really well to it, so you end up taking that strong side, but they're setting something up here. Again, you see this right here. That's going to be where they're going to hit at some point out of that formation. Still pulling down on the football when he throws. Drives me crazy. All right, so 4th and 1 here. So you got your H-back and tight end. So just flipping the two out here. Really big personnel. Just sort of almost wildcatish here. The jet action. And this play actually I thought was, I was going to complain about this more, but this is a really good play right here by just in terms of the play call, but this is just a really good play by the edge. He just beats the tight end and the tackle inside. So the tackle is trying to get here, combo up. The thing is, on 4th and 1, you have to hit your combo and take care of the first line first and then work your way up. And he's just a little too quick to try to get to that second level, and he ends up beating the tight end across his face. It's a tough ask for the tight end to get there against a quick edge. He plays, you see the really low pad level. He's on the inside here, and that blows it up. So this is really not on Benson. This is on the blocking. He's got no chance here, and they just bottled it up. Man, they're not even replaying the end zone views there. So 3rd and 3, first down here. One of the things I liked is, on a rewatch, they are pressing. They are taking the initiative a little bit more on the first couple drives than I thought on my first watch. Just didn't get there on a couple occasions, but you see them rotating down, and you're going to get, if I remember right, this is that. Yeah. So you're getting bringing 5, and then you're dropping the 6th right into the usual window here. This is a nice blitz. I mean, they know that Duke, out of this kind of formation, they like to run a lot of crossers and that sort of thing because Leonard is really accurate there. And then to drop Verse, who they're expecting to be the main pass rusher, to drop him back here, this is a nice touch. I actually like this blitz. And Leonard, that's a really impressive throw from pressure. Really good pass rush there, by the way, by Peyton here. Just beats the tackle. And Leonard actually puts this on the money and just ends up being a drop, but the pressure actually is the difference there. So, all right, 1st and 10. Yeah, just clear out with a quick out, and then I think you've got just verticals to the field. Nice catch. Catch it without going behind your back the next time. Nice to have big hands. Guards tipping the pole here. Key, though, is as long as the guard and the tackle aren't tipping the pole, then you're not sure if he's pulling here or if he's pulling here, but you've got tendencies to go on there. It's not too bad. So this is an RPO here all the way, and he's just seeing this. He's playing almost 10 yards off. Get the counter, RPO. It's a free 10 yards. Take it. So Travis basically has the ability to make that call, to pull that and not hand it off every time or virtually every time. And when they're playing that far off, you just take it. 3rd and 3. So empty here. They're showing pressure. You expect them, actually, given their tendency to mug. All they're trying to do with this mugging most of the time is just to get one-on-ones with their defensive line, and then they usually drop out of it. That's what you're going to expect pretty much all the time with them. Only they did actually bring a blitzer this time. They just dropped one here and brought this guy. So you don't normally expect more than 4 with them, though. It's good by Travis recognizing who the blitzer is going to be. It's going to be the guy over here. So this is what you work on in blitz period during the week. If he goes, you just fill right where the blitzer came from. He's not going to be able to get there in time. Boom. Piece of cake. First down. It's really nice execution from Travis. So a couple failed runs. It's driving me crazy that I'm not actually getting to break those down. I might have to go back to those. It's a poor throw here. And this is just an example of, first of all, not driving off the back foot. So just this sort of bouncy feet. It's just poor mechanics across the board here. Bouncy feet, and then pull down on the ball. Don't get sufficient extension. Bent arm, and the ball winds up in the dirt. And yet, bailed out by your 6'7" wide receiver going down and scooping it off the ground. Really good catch. So another different look here. Again, bringing some motion. So I'm going to wind up in a 2x2, but with a tight split and a attached Y here. And what they're trying to get is this rail up the sideline. They want to get this matchup right here. They want those two, and they think they can beat this guy up the sideline. So it's kind of a follow concept. Those guys are going to get upfield, and he does a great job of playing over the top. It's just not there. And Morlock here does a really good job on a little hunt route. Can't see it without the All-22, but there's just a little hunt where if he has to, he can keep going across. Otherwise, he's just hunting for space. They're on the same page. 2nd and 20, you get it. That's really good. Good quarterbacking, good tight end play. And they did have the success with the tight ends that we kind of expected. Pretty good from Bless Harris there. Nice little concept here. What is this? It's almost a spacing. I'm not sure what they're actually running here. Need to go back and look at it again from the other. That's really nice right there. This is designed to go to the back all the way. These guys are blocking. It's not a true screen, but it might as well be. They're blocking the whole way. They know they're going to get the one-on-one, and you get your back in space. And Keziah has impressed me. Honestly, in terms of, the bigger backs right now, the way he runs with initiative and all of that, I mean, he's kind of earned some more looks. Keep getting him some time. It's a nice little look. It's just easy. And you can see right here what my complaint is about the arm slot. That right there. There's no extension. He's throwing with that arm position the whole way through. You cannot have reliable downfield consistency in terms of accuracy with that. It eventually is going to sail or drop on you. And you're going to end up floating the football. They just don't have receivers. This was one where, honestly, I thought he should just try to make this a foot race. Probably has his best bet, but he's trying to follow back inside. And I just think that's where you're going to end up with just too much. So, this is where just take off, get your 10 yards from your speed, and call it a day. He's looking for too much. Once again, 1st and 10 in this situation. Nice little screen. The timing's actually not bad here, and this would have been fine if he hadn't had to dodge here. If he's out here right now, where he was on his proper path right there, and he had to kind of slow up. If he's like another yard forward, yard and a half forward, this hits. But instead, the backer gets there just in time. It's just because he kind of got held up a little bit in the backfield there. But again, the timing of that is looking a lot better. So 3rd and 12 here. Oh, this was the interception. That's right. So I think he read the wrong side here. So what you have here is it's almost a spacing concept to the top. I'm not sure what they're running. What are they running? So you got an out. This is it's like a curl flat here with some sort of additional curl in here, and then you do have a curl flat over here. So this is one of the mirrored ones here. I can't remember what they call this. I'd have to look it up. But I think he's reading the wrong side here. So this should be, and I see why he wants to go there, because you got 1, 2, 3, or 1, 2, 3 over the 2. So he's looking for the 1, 2, 3. I mean, there's not numbers anywhere because they're rushing 3. I like this side better because you're essentially going to be depending on this guy right here to be your underneath coverage player if he sinks at all. So to me, I think he read the wrong side. He's got to read this side. And he's looking up there for this. I just think you're going to get the... I see what he's looking for, but the problem is you've got an additional player. This is the problem right here. Because you have the safety here as well, he becomes the problem. He kind of floats. So he's going to work with number 3. He's going to work out to the flat, and then you're going to bracket this. You got 1 and 2. So you just can't work that side. You've got that additional problem right there. So, you kind of have to count this as 1, 2, 3, 4, and then he's probably a 5 instead of 1, 2, 3 there. And I think this is where you got to go. You'll see it from the other angle if they show it. Yeah, and they're just bracketing this. This is no chance for Keon Coleman. And that turns into a pick 6. So here, if you look at this angle, right here is where he should be working. It's right there. And see what they're trying to do is they're trying to bracket with these guys. They're trying to bracket anything in here. Now, because he's looking over here a little bit, he's getting a little bit of movement from him. If he just looks over here for a second and then comes back, he's going to have this. That right there is where he's got to go. This right here, because of him, is not open. Yeah, that's the problem right there. That's where you get in trouble. Whereas if you stick it here, he's just not in position to handle that. That's got to go to Johnny the whole way. Work the wrong side. And then this is one they clearly were setting up. I mean, they really like this. So if you see this, let's see, they've got 5 to this side, 5 to that, and they're kicking from the hash. They're trying to pin everything to this side. But I think they just noticed that this side, because they're trying to pin it, they felt like if you see they've got one, yeah, they're lining up even here. What they're trying to do is they're trying to hit everything back in and hit this left return from that left hash. And I think part of it is that ideally you want this ball, if you're trying to do the left kick, you want this ball caught more around the numbers rather than closer to the hash for the kicker. So the kicker missed his spot here. And I think this is something they probably noticed in pregame. Something I would always look for when I was a special teams coordinator is, are they kicking more to one side or the other? And if they are, is the kicker maybe missing more to the middle of the field? And this right here, he's got a chance already. You see this there? This is not the best blocking here because you get 45. Was that Daniels? Runs right through. But the other thing that I think they noticed is that this guy here has a habit of getting too deep. And the idea here is that if Span can hit this fast enough, he's out. So they don't block him. So he's ruled out because he gets too deep and he's going to be able to hit it. And then if you can just get a body on him and get a lead block on the next guy, then you're taking out 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's one guy left for the return man. So I think that's what they're seeing. And they got the block right here. The last guy, they double teamed up here. You notice that? So they've got a double team on that guy. They got him on the ground, and then it's over. So this is really nice. I'd like to see the other angle or be able to show you the other angle because what they're doing, they're pulling here and another guy here. They're targeting this guy. Get him on the ground with those two guys, and then he's out because the returner's going to hit the seam too fast. And then block him, double team him, and now you've got nothing left but the kicker just because of the structure of it. This is a really nice job by John Papuchis. And, of course, Mike Norvell having his part in there. Then, of course, you see Hakeem Williams turn it on here. Now, by this point, Deuce Span he's jogging and he's saying, come along with me. But Hakeem doesn't have any lack of speed here. So general rule is if a guy is 2 steps to cover 5 yards, he's 4-5 or better. 1 step right there. 2 steps on the 5. 1, 2 diagonally. So he's covered about 5.5 per step. So that's 4-4 range at least for Hakeem Williams, which tells you sort of what his actual time speed would be in a combine type situation. And again, you see this. They've set this up. Everything is coming to the right. They've gone short in terms of numbers on this side. Everything, or to the left of the returns left. But right here's the key. Boom and boom. They get the double right there. Get him on the ground. And then a nice job right here to turn him back this way. Is that Greedy? Yeah, that's really nice from Greedy. Just stay on. And then outside. That's great. I love that he's waving him along. That was key. They almost blocked this one, by the way. Got close. So now it's 14-17, second quarter. Feeling pretty good about things at that point because you knew that you'd just taken their best shot, and now you're in a position, that pick 6 is wiped off. Things are basically even. They got a non-offensive touchdown. You got a non-offensive touchdown. Now you're back to normal, and you've taken their best shot, and you're still only down 3. You're going to eventually wear them out. You can take the punch and the body blows. They can't. So now you're going to get again, working to single high. You get true man out here. So this gives you a better numbers situation in the box. This is a hold right here. Right there. So good job actually by the tackle getting the combo here and then getting up to the backer, but then he just flat grabs. So yeah, that's a pretty bad one right there. You got to call that one. I can see why they didn't, because he didn't get much of him, but you got to call it. There's just enough. If he's not grabbed, he probably at least gets a piece of his leg. So bunch here, and then they're just running Texas. A little shallow with the Texas. That's a heck of a throw. My goodness, that's really, really good. And that's one where he's got little pressure in his face. That's such a tight window. Saw this from the end zone view. I don't know if they've got the end zone view on this one. No, they don't. Saw this from the end zone view, and this window is like probably 2 feet. I mean, this is about 6 inches from being broken up, and this is just a dart. It's a great throw. And this is the kind of throw on 2nd and 15 they're not getting with the other quarterback. He made a huge difference in this game. That's really good. A lot of respect for Leonard. Okay, finally starting to bow up a little bit here. This is just love it, deciding, okay, fine. I'm gonna go ahead and take my gap. And he's not the only one. Who is that up there? Man, that was so tight. I think he might have even touched it. Is that 95 at yeah, that is. Well, good for him. That's really good for the redshirt freshman there. Both of those reps were really excellent. That's really good up at the top here as well as love it. I mean, they handled that. And again, right now the depth at where's that 99? Either way, the depth at defensive tackle is really starting to pay off. Because you can do so much with those guys, knowing that they're fresher. So once again here, they're bringing pressure on 3rd and 21. I do like this. Go ahead and get in his face. He's immobile at this point in terms of his foot. Trust your coverage. And they're going to go ahead and bring 6. No, they're bringing 5. It's a nice little fire zone here, actually. So 1, 2, and then you got man here, match up there, and then he's going to kind of drop and be a rat. I'd actually like to see, instead of just kind of coming in and taking that, turn this into a full green dog. Come downhill, take him out. And that's a great play. So this is just a sort of a sail concept, but it's a version of a sail concept. So you're going to get a post out here, then you're going to get the deep out, and then you're going to layer that with the quick out, with the shorter out. And they're just trying to throw this on time. And you expect this receiver to be able to essentially get space and turn that run away from the defender. And turns out the defender's just the better athlete. He's able to get to that ball. That ball's thrown on time to the right location. And that's just the defensive player being better. It's a good throw, actually. Good throw on time. So 2nd and 2. This is play action. This is not an RPO. It's a shot right here. So what they're trying to do, they're going to get this clear out over the top. It's an alert if the post decides to take this this climb route. So if the safety jumps down on that, you're going to go ahead and take that alert. But they don't, and you get a wide open play. This is really hard to cover for the safety. So it's really here and here that you're having to, one of those guys is going to have to follow. And essentially he's going to have to be the guy. He's got to actually take care of this. So essentially what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to take this, he's going to have to take the post, and then he's going to have to fall off on the climb. But as soon as he stays with this is just going to come wide open. You just throw him out in space here. You don't throw him too much into that or into this guy. Throw him out this way. It turns into a nice play. That's one of the easiest throws in football. And the reason you can do this is look at the protection. That's really good. And give Jaheim Bell some credit here. Right there. That's excellent. Also, Hill here. Those guys handle their business. You go with a max protect type look here to get the space, and there you go. So this is where you can see that they're already in a position where if Jordan keeps this, it's probably scores. Because he's coming outside, but he's wanting to come downhill hard. And if he's got this angle on Travis coming this way, it's still going to be tough to catch him. But this is, once again, tipped in terms of the pull. It's not too bad, but I just don't like it. And then they log it, so you expect it to be up. So they're spilling that. They log it, get that upfield. The problem here is that this edge guy just kind of wraps over the top and works his way to that. And this is something we've seen from teams a lot this year, is essentially taking this opposite edge to be the additional backer on the front side on counter. Because they're getting the double here. That's fine. That's okay. You're okay on the out here. The problem is with this guy wrapping over the top, you're going to get this block, but there's just nobody for the guy that's wrapping over the top. So what you end up wanting to do is having the quarterback keep that on this edge, because if he starts wrapping too early, you're going to get the quarterback here. You can also start to do some of this stuff. But ideally, your backside block is able to get that cut off, and he can't work his way down the line of scrimmage at all. But that's been an issue for him this year. Teams are doing that a lot more. It's sort of a focus on how teams are defending Florida State in the counter. So 3rd and 4 here. It's really good coverage. And Johnny's got to do a better job of holding his line. And Jordan's got to make a better throw here. This is one where I don't want to see this ball quite as floated or up. I want to see this ball sort of back pylon and a little bit flatter so that Johnny can go up and get it the other way. It's good coverage. So you get your 17 all. Second and 2. Just looks like pin and pull to me. Maybe. Yeah, I think that's pin and pull. It's not bad from Florida State, actually. Now you got 2nd and 20, and again, apologies to Fuller for feeling like they didn't apply enough of this pressure early on. I think they basically did. They just didn't get home as often as you'd like. And this is an example of Leonard. I mean, if he'd been able to run all game, he's a scary dude, man. I think that's the 2nd best quarterback in the conference. And this is one where just, you lost contain on the edge. He's got to keep his edge contained. And then Verse is there, but kind of gets shaken initially. 3rd and 6 makes it a lot easier. And this is one where, honestly, Verse just kind of gets manhandled a little bit here. It doesn't happen very often, but it's going to happen once in a while. And this is the same concept they had before. They're going to take him out of the box. They're trying to get him isolated here. Tackle does a great job on that. You're going to need that and that. Safety ultimately has to be here. Problem is that both of these guys take that on 3rd and 6. He's kind of playing that. He's got to be the downhill here. That, and I think they get to the backer here. So the combo works great. You get this. There's just, you're late here. You're pushed back here. He's kicked out. This is just a nice, at some point you give the credit to Duke to this point. Now here's the funny part is, the tackle's got the initiative here. Verse kind of gets clear, and then the tackle actually reaches and trips him. So this should be a tripping right there, but okay. It's really, this is textbook though. You can see to the backer. And really what they want is they want Verse in here. They want the backer here. So that's fine. Verse has got to take this right here, and then he's going to have that once this happens. But Verse gets kind of knocked out of this space. Yeah. The tackle, I'm really impressed by this left tackle. He's going to be a pretty good guard at the next level. That right there, he beat Verse to the spot, played lower, got him handled, then managed to trip him right at the end there. But he did win the first part of that play, which is why they didn't give him credit or didn't call a hold. You hear some people here that are going to complain about this being a hold. This is not a hold. He's in position. Feet are there. He's just pressing that out. I'm fine with that as a no call. So this is just zone. With the little cutback. And FSU's got a light box, and they're bringing pressure from the edge, from the wrong edge. Backers stepping forward, and there's just nobody for the outside. Backer essentially has to play two gaps there. And once again, 23's awareness is not at 99. Now they're starting to hit it. Starting to feel a little more comfortable. Also getting a little heavier box here. Safeties are downhill first. They shouldn't have run there. Then you get to 3rd and goal, and it's from way back here. They're just not going to take that chance with Leonard. This is just straight, again, inside zone. And ultimately, the backer gets there from the edge. It's pretty good across the board. Going to get the kick. You go into the half down 3, but you feel pretty good about where you're at. Knowing that you just took their best punch, they got their non-defensive or their non-offensive score and everything else, and you're in position to come out and take the initiative in the second half. Felt pretty good there, but you still had to play a little better in the second half. But we'll go ahead and wrap there. I'm going to do the second half here in another day or so, but figured I'd go ahead and do part 1 initially. A few things sort of to come away with is that I do think they showed more pressure defensively in the first half than I'd seen or noticed on the first watch. And then it's sort of the consequence of dealing with 2 games at once there. And then I thought, a couple of the holds were significant enough that they should have been called and did impact the outcome of a couple drives. And then just Jordan on the interception, rare mistake of reading the wrong side, I think. And that turnover being, pretty key there. But Duke really wasn't able to move it consistently there. They got a couple long runs, one of which was a hold. The other one was not in my opinion. And then, just a few mistakes to clean up. And that's something Florida State's going to have to do better on in first halves. But overall, I mean, it didn't look as frustrating on this watch as when I first watched the game as I thought the film session might be for the first half. So second half ends up looking pretty darn good, but we'll cover that we'll cover that here real soon. Probably release that on Wednesday. So all told, that'll do for this one. Talk to y'all. Release it on Wednesday or so.